think this one was the very first one that I planted. I call this one the Trachycarpus by the pond. I've got names for all of them so I can keep track of them.
Fortunae, it's about 25 inches tall with about 6 inches of trunk.
And now, in 23, it's 72 inches tall. And we had 6 inches of trunk in 2020. And now we've got 16. And the trunk was 1 3/4 inches wide. And now, depends on where you measure it, but we've got about 5.5 inches this way.
5 inches tall.
Trachycarpus. I bought these 2 years ago. I've got way more than 3, but these are the only 3 that I've really been documenting. Over 3 years, it's grown a total of 52 inches, and that is a 17-inch per year average, and the last year it grew 20 inches. Trachycarpus number 2. This one is called Trachycarpus North. At the time that I planted these, this was my northernmost Trachycarpus, although I now have literally a dozen further north than this now. So when I bought this in 2020, it was 24 inches tall,
About 2 foot tall. The trunk is about 7-ish inches. Trachycarpus North. These petioles are stretched out a bunch. 43 inches tall. I would give it 10 inches of trunk, and again, the tomentum will start to stretch up higher.
northernmost Trachycarpus in this garden. A few years ago, this thing was 24 inches tall. I think it's a little taller than that now. Yep, it is 60 inches. Actually, it's probably 61, but I'll call it 60. Okay, so that's put on 36 inches in the last 2 years. The trunk, oh, come on. The trunk started at 7 and now it's 14. Now it is 76 inches tall. And to measure the trunk, I've got to get over here in the garden bed, which I don't like doing because I got so much stuff popping up all over the place. And we've got a good 16, maybe 17 inches of trunk. And then across the width, we've got a good 6 inches. It's got this heel over on this side. I like it when Trachycarpus do that. It seems like they, in preparation for growing up more, they got to expand outwards. Kind of like how toddlers kind of do that. Toddlers kind of get chunky before they have a growth spurt. This is Trachycarpus number 3. This is, what do I call this one? Trachy by the bamboo, or Trachycarpus East, although I've got lots that are further east now. This is the slowpoke of the bunch. It is only 54.5 is what I've got at the measurement here right now. Last year I measured it at 55. I probably put down mulch or something since then. But it has been a real slowpoke. In 2020, this had 6 inches of trunk, and now it's got 15 or 16. And in 20, it was 2 inches wide, and now it's about 5. So that one is a slowpoke. That's kind of the outlier of the group. That's Trachycarpus by the bamboo, or Trachycarpus East. Then the southernmost Trachycarpus, back here behind Tiki Dude. These are my beasts. These are the biggest, most robust Trachycarpus that I have. These are both, every year that I've measured them, they've been within 1 inch of each other in every dimension. So I only document them as one set of data because their numbers are the same. So let's see, in 2020, they were 32 inches tall with 9 inches of trunk. And this year, they are 81 inches. I said they had 9 inches of trunk in 20. This year they have a good 19. And then the base of these things are chunky. That's about 8 inches across at the bottom there. And these have retained a lot of fronds. They have the most number of fronds, I think, out of all of my Trachycarpus. They've got big, very full, thick crowns. And the fronds are the biggest across on these as well. So that edge of the frond over there, oh, get on there. Well, I'm not gonna get perfectly on it. That's pretty close. We are at just about 47 inches there. Almost 4 foot of frond diameter. That's pretty awesome. I think that these things get a little bit of extra benefit. This one sure does, from being right next to the asphalt here. I think the heat radiates up and kind of helps cook this one here a little bit. I water those real heavily too. All of my Trachycarpus, they get watered amply. I fertilize them a couple times a year. I actually burnt them the first year because I didn't know how to apply fertilizer. Look at these fronds, they're beautiful. This will throw 360-degree fronds every once in a while as well. Western sword fern makes a great companion plant, but it totally covers up the trunk. This one also has a nice trunk. Not as big as the other one, but it's still a good 7 inches across at the base. So looking at the numbers, even if you include the slowpoke, the outlier there, we've got 14 inches of growth average per year. And if you don't include the slowpoke, then it would be 17 inches of growth per year. But a lot of these, they speed up as they get older to a certain point. And a lot of them within the last year have put on 20 inches, 16 inches. This one I'm missing data for 2022, but I know that once they're 5 or 6 years in, they can put on 20 inches, 2 feet of growth per year. So they are fully hardy here in the Pacific Northwest. If you're in a zone 8A, 8B, they are bulletproof. And they look great too.